Oh yeah, it's time. Oh yeah, it's very much time. Here we go. Whoops. I should probably dub all the cutscenes of this game. I just realized I could dub Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 for content. I could dub it. Maybe dub it together though or something. Maybe. I don't know. Yep. My experience with Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2. Oh, and for anyone wondering, why am I doing Episode 2 instead of Episode 1? I couldn't find a version of Episode 1, and if I could have, I would have probably found it before, reaching, before actually doing Episode 2. But we couldn't do Episode 2. Or we couldn't do Episode 1. So, I'm doing Episode 2. Anyway, so we're going to do an old school review for these, because I'm going to try to do multiple reviews today. I'm going to do one for Sonic 4 Episode 2. I'm going to do another one for maybe GT, and then probably another one for other stuff. So, I'm sick AF, man, and my throat hurts, can't talk exactly. You know what's funny, Louis, I hope you get better soon, Void, but you know what's funny, Louis' throat was also freaking hurting, and I was fearing he was sick. And it sucks being sick, man. It really does. There's literally no benefit, especially when you grow up and be like kind of an adult. Like back then when you were little in school, the only benefit of being sick was you got to play video games all day. All right, that was like the only benefit. But now once you grow up, there's literally no benefit being sick anymore. No benefit whatsoever. It's just that you're just worse than what you normally are. And it's like, no, I don't want to be like that. But anyway, so let's review Sonic 4 Episode 2, right? So, thanks guys. At least I can do like F and F stuff. Fair enough. I was going to talk to you yesterday too, but I got caught up talking with Chris and everything. And talked for hours and stuff. And I was dubbing and doing all other things. But I got you the next time. When I get a Roblox live stream whipped up and all that other sort of stuff, I got you, man. All right? I truly got you this time. All right. But anyways, let's get the review going, right? You can talk later if you feel like it. All right. But I got you. Okay. So, Sonic 4 Episode 2 was a game that, funny enough, right? Let me tell you the story. We got to go all the way back before I started making all of my Sonic videos. Like, I would argue maybe a couple months before I even made my first Sonic, like, full playthrough / gameplay video, right? I remember Sonic 4 Episode 2 being on Google Play Store / I think iOS Store as well. And I played a little bit of it, and I wasn't, like, super into it. Because all I remember... And if we want to go way back to when this game released, Sonic 4 Episode 2 released, back in, like, I can't even remember the year, but I remember I was alive, and I remember everyone was, like, crapping on it and saying all these mean things towards it because, it was Sega's, another Sega attempt at clinging to the classics instead of making something brand new. And I don't blame people for being, like, pissed at Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 for kind of just, cheesing on the nostalgia of classic Sonic, like Sonic, Sonic 1 and 2 and 3 and stuff. So I get it why people, like, kind of hated this game back in the day. Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2. 2 got a little bit less hate than Sonic 4 Episode 1 did. But still got hate because it was unoriginal, it felt bland, it felt, for a lot of people, it just wasn't the Sonic game we were looking for. Sonic Mania was obviously the Sonic game people were looking for, and Sonic Frontiers, obviously, but those didn't come out until so long after Sonic 4, right? But anyways, right? So, on Google Play, I played it for a little bit, then kind of uninstalled it, and then kind of forgot about it for months, right? And I was sitting there for a long while. I was sitting there just kind of just kind of not worried about Sonic 4 Episode 2 because I thought it was going to be staying on the App Store for a long time. Then I started doing like my Sonic gameplay slash playthrough videos. I played Sonic 1, I played Sonic 2, I played Sonic 3, I played Sonic CD, I've played, like the 2D Sonic games. We were mixing it up with 3D Sonic games. And I remember for a long time I tried to do like a Google search for Sonic 4 Episode 2 because I was like, wait a minute, I remembered Sonic 4 Episode 2 existing on the Google Play Store, right? So I look it up because I wanted to do a video on it because I'm obviously like looking around Google Play, the internet, all sorts of places to find new playthroughs to go and play and figure out what content I want to do for like the day and stuff like that because I stream every day. So I got to find something every day to figure out, right? So when I got on Google Play and tried to find it, it wasn't available anymore. And I remember when I saw that it wasn't available anymore, I was very upset because I was like, damn, I kind of want to play this game for myself because, as you guys know, like, no one talks about Sonic 4 anymore. Sega doesn't acknowledge Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2. The fans don't acknowledge these games, so it's like that game that's just gotten forgotten with time, right? So seeing that when can you do Roblox, I could do Roblox just right after this. To be honest, I'm kind of feeling like a little bit of Roblox, but I'm not sure if anybody else could like come on in and join us and stuff like that. So, but anyways, you know what? Maybe I'll do Roblox today, but then after Roblox, I'm gonna probably try to hop back on review time and review more games and stuff. I got you. All right, but anyways, right? So I was so sad and that it wasn't on the Play Store, and I just thought, okay, there's no way to get this game anymore. And keep in mind, right, I think Steam also had like Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 available that you can buy from Sega, but they don't really talk about it, and they kind of just removed it from, I think, everywhere else except Steam. Steam's, I think, the only place that kept like Sonic 4 up, right? And I remember as well, I was doing tons of research for the game as well. I was like looking online to see if it was on the Wii, like I can buy a physical, because I was like, dude, I was dead ass down to buy a physical copy of Sonic Episode 4, Episode 1, or Episode 2, just any of the episodes to get my hands on it. It turns out, right, for most of the consoles back in the day too, Sonic 4 did not get a physical copy here in the USA. It got a physical copy, I think, over there in Japan, but it never left Japan in terms of getting physical copies. Like, the US only got it virtually, like, episode, I think, 1 to the Wii. PS3 got, I think, both episodes via virtual console, so meaning, like, only in-store. And then I think Xbox 360 as well only got it through the digital store. Only got it, like, digitally. There's no such thing as a physical copy of Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2 for basically most modern-day consoles at that period of time, which I was like, dude, that sucks even more. Why the fuck didn't they release a physical copy of Sonic 4? What if there's somebody out there, like myself, trying to play Sonic 4 Episode 1 or 2, And at this time, I'm just trying to find at least 2. Before I was trying to find 1 too, but couldn't get one to get on going on my device and stuff and whatnot. And then it happened, right? I stumbled upon a website, right? Online. Yes, I know it's the wrong way to go about it. You're supposed to support Sega. You're supposed to find a way to buy the game, you know what I mean? You're supposed to You're supposed to buy it from the company, right? But tell me this instance. What if the company, and you're limited on devices, because obviously I have a PS5, a Wii, a tablet, and stuff, right? That's the 3 things I'm limited to. What if all 3 versions of Sonic 4 are not on there? Officially, by Sega, for you to buy and consume. What are you supposed to do then? Go straight to the fucking internet and hopefully you can find it. So, that's what I decided to do. I went on the internet one day, / I was actually looking up on YouTube videos too to find versions of Sonic 4. Like, okay, mobile versions, like modded versions, or not modded versions. I was going to town on the internet trying to find modded versions for Sonic 4, right? And then I think I entered, I can't remember the website now, but I think it was lightmodsapk.com or something like that, right? Which, kids on the internet, don't just go download anything on the internet unless you have like a VPN that can protect you and all that other sort of stuff, okay? Just don't go downloading random stuff on the internet. Just want to let you know that now. Just don't just do it because I said something about it, all right? Okay. But anyway, so I downloaded it off the internet. And keep in mind, right, every time I download something off the internet, I'm taking a massive gamble if this is going to put my device in virus mode, or not only virus mode, but like, you know, leak shit, or like something, right? And when I downloaded Sonic 4 Episode 2, I was expecting it not to work because I think like, oh shit, something's stuck in my throat. I think like over an hour ago at that point, I already tried like Episode 1, and that one didn't work either, right? So I'm sitting there wondering, what the fuck do I do? RJ, I'll answer that question here in a sec about what's my favorite zone from like Sonic 4 Episode 2. I'll answer that here in a second. I'm sitting there like trying to understand, like, I hope Sonic 4 Episode 2 works, right? So I download it, I get it whipped up, and I remember I clicked the application. It popped up. It said the Sega logo. It did everything. Brothers, sisters, I cannot express to you how excited, right, I was that I had the shot to play an official version or an official game, a Sonic game, all over again. That was a fucking platformer, okay? That wasn't one I already played. That wasn't like that I could just have like a brand new thought process on that doesn't have like, you know what I mean? Like, it was exciting. I remember I was so excited that night to play Sonic 4 Episode 2 that I had energy, like crazy thematic energy, like all night that night. And I couldn't control my own energy. I remember I was trying to talk to my dad about it, that I want to stream late at night, right? And, you know, me and my dad kind of went into a whole talking thing about, you know, your energy seems a bit chaotic. You know, usually you have your energy to stream under fucking control, right? Or something like that, And I said, man, come on, man. I mean, I give a fuck, right? I give a fuck about my streaming energy and doing it in the morning versus the nighttime and all that other sort of stuff. And I was just so, well, I was going to stream Sonic 4 that night. I was going to stream all of it that night. But I'm kind of grateful I didn't, because what I chose to do, right? Because I was like, I want to get this energy out. I want to stream something because I'm so excited to play Sonic 4 Episode 2. And what I decided to do instead was I decided to whip up, I think like 5 small Undertale streams that night. And then like Undertale fan fight streams, or 3, 4 of them or something like that. And then I whipped up a full playthrough of Batman Return to Joker for the Game Boy. And I remember after I did those, like, that's how I made sure my energy to stream and go do something, you know, went down that night. And after that night, I think it was the following day that I finally got on and said, you know what? Let's go ahead and do Sonic 4 for a little bit. Let's see how far we can go. And I remember, you know, opening it, I said, okay, let me get my stream title, and then, boom, wham, it was right fucking there. I was playing Sonic 4 Episode 2. Now, keep in mind, right, when I went into Sonic 4, I didn't want to go into this game having the same mindset as everyone else did back in the day. I like to have my own thought process, because there's a lot of people out there that look at Sonic 4 to this day and still have the same opinion on it as they had back when the game first released. I like giving games second chances, like third chances and stuff. So, you know, I can maybe change my perspective, change my view about it, right? That's what I like to do. And when I got on Sonic 4, like I said earlier, and played the mobile port of it through my little playthrough, yeah, I got a lot of ads. I apologize on my Sonic 4 video. So we're doing Sylviana Zone. I remember going into this game with the intro, had my face cam. By the way, right? If you guys want to know the truth on why my tablet stream screens are so small, it is because most of the time I try to change it to like horizontal viewing, like flipping it like this way and stuff. Like try to flip it looking like the actual tablet screen but bigger. And every single time I've tried to do that on this device, for some reason, it just feels like it's completely locked in vertical screen, and there's no way to full screen it for me anymore. And I've also like tried to go on my tablet settings for this and try to fix it via my tablet screen being like, yo, always have it horizontal, don't have it vertical no more. But YouTube just does not allow me to have my screen be at full screen, and it always tells me, nope, you're going to make videos at the size of a fucking phone whenever you do your gameplay. So I tried literally everything to fix this problem. I just stopped worrying about it and said, yo, if you got a phone, watch it like this. On big screen, I apologize. You're going to have to sit in a chair very close to the screen to see it all. All right, I can't fix that. But it does work whenever I do like these type of streams, like whenever you see my hand and all that other sort of stuff, it's fine. But I got into this zone, right? And my first thoughts on this zone, Sylviana zone, I kind of thought of this zone as like a mix of Green Hill and yeah, it was like Green Hill zone, and then it was Shadow the Hedgehog would be awesome to play. Yeah, if it wasn't super expensive, I would have fucking loved it. I would have loved to have played, like, VA through my Wii stuff. That would have been cool. But this was like a mix of, like, fuck, what is it? Yeah, Green Hill, and then I think one of the water zones from Sonic. Not Hydrocity, but it was another water zone, right? So, when I went in here, I mean, it was cool going into this zone, Sylviana zone, or Sylviana Castle zone. I guess it was cool. I mean, the music was cool too. I liked the music in Sonic 4 Episode 2. That's something. But another thing that I really didn't like, I think, because this zone was just okay, it wasn't bad, it was cool, it was something, right? Another thing that I really did not like about Sonic 4, and this is like a thing most people don't like about their Sonic games, is having 3 zones in a Sonic game for just some reason, right? Ever since I started playing Sonic, and a lot of people started playing Sonic, right? This is a weird thing that just keeps on happening. And what I mean by that is, right, is nobody likes playing 3 zones in a Sonic game. I never liked playing 3 zones in a Sonic game. Every single time I've played a Sonic game, that like a 2D Sonic game that had like 3 acts, I always went like, ugh, here. And I think that idea of not liking 3 acts per place, I think comes from Sonic 1. Because if you guys remember, like, most of the Sonic 1 zones that had 3 acts, like, it was 3, I don't know, it was like 3 places each time, or three levels, 3 acts of a level. And depending on how good that level was, it was either a fun 3 acts, or even by the time you had fun with the act, I would say 2 acts and a boss was perfect, right? The perfect ideology for Sonic, for classic Sonic games. That's perfect. But this game does the whole 3-act thing, and I'm not going to lie, with these bland-ass zones, and I can't lie, these zones, right, for the most part, they don't really do a whole lot to stick out. In my honest-to-God opinion, they really don't. Even in 2026, right, when I looked at these zones, I still think of these zones as, like, zones I'm not really going to remember. I feel like the zones are pretty forgettable at best. They don't really do anything to stick out, and make me remember the zone. Like I probably, if you put me in a chair, strap me up in the chair, I couldn't move. I probably could not tell you maybe 1 or 2 zones from this game. And I probably could tell you more zones in Sonic Mania or like other Sonic games than Sonic 4. I mean, of course, now I probably would have it in my brain to remember because I'm doing the review, but if you strapped me in a chair and told me name Sonic 4 zones, or Sonic 4 Episode 2 zones, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you, because they don't really do anything to stick out. And also the mechanics in the game too, like using Sonic and Tails as like team up stuffs. Like for example, like Tails' flying team up or Tails' giant spinball team up. That shit is cool. I like that in Sonic 4 episode 2. Uh Another one that kind of got me. By the way, Wisdom, welcome. I don't really think I have a favorite zone in Sonic 4 episode 2 because every zone to me, at least to some extent, didn't really do anything to feel original. Like every zone just kind of sat there and was like, you know what? This is only just okay. This isn't like the best Sonic game known to man. I mean, I know it's not the best Sonic game, but for me, even if the game had bland zones and Metal Sonic's annoying ass boss fight and race in this fucking game, I think Sonic 4 Episode 2 is obviously, it's not the worst game ever made. It's not. It isn't. I remember when I finished it, sure, I was getting pissed at it because the Metal Sonic race felt bullshit. The Metal Sonic boss fights kind of maybe lack an understanding of them at first and all that other sort of stuff. But Sonic 4 Episode 2 is not a bad game. You know, like a lot of people like to say. It's not that bad. It's not perfect, but not the best. It's decent. Yeah. Honestly, I would say, and I think I said this in my gameplay review, or my full playthrough of Sonic 4 Episode 2. I said, bro, this honestly feels like if Sonic did the whole new Super Mario. That's honestly how I feel about Sonic 4 in general, right? Sonic 4 kind of feels like the new Super Mario Bros. For the Sonic franchise. It's basically, it takes Sonic's classic gameplay, modernizes it up, and then throws it at you. Like, basically just makes like a decent, like, Sonic game. That's literally how I can describe, like, this game to literally anybody that, like, pulled up and said, describe Sonic 4 for me. Describe Sonic 4 Episode 2 or Episode 1. For both episodes, in my honest to God opinion, they feel like new Super Mario Bros. For the Sonic franchise. They really do. And you can't say that about Sonic Mania, because at least Sonic Mania had a mix of old zones and then had a mix of really memorable new zones, like Press Garden Zone, or not Casino Night, but it was Studiopolis. You know, those were really good zones from like Sonic Mania. And then Marnock Madness, or, you know, the last stage from Sonic Mania. I can't really say its whole name right without butchering it, but you get it. That's also a really good zone. That was unique to Sonic Mania. But, yeah, and, yeah, Sonic 4 is just okay. It's decent. You know, I mean, I do understand why it got hate, like, back in the day, you know, but nowadays, if you're still hating Sonic 4 for the same reasons back in 2016, or 2013, 2014, whenever the fucking games came out, I'm just gonna say this, like, why? Why even hate it? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's other games you can hate in the Sonic franchise, bro. Like, look back at, like, Sonic Forces. I know a lot of people also hated Sonic Forces, but I also thought that was a decent game. Honestly, you could put Sonic 4 and Forces together, and they could be like the new Super Mario Bros. Fucking trilogy of the Sonic games in this bitch. You know, just two of them are 2D and one of them is 3D. Like, shit, you might as well throw Lost World in there too, because that's also another fucking average-ass Sonic game that a lot of people just didn't like and stuff. Forces in '06. I would say, if you want a new Super Mario Bros. Sonic Squad, I would say Sonic 4, Lost World, and Forces. And Forces. Those were like the three, I would say, like, new Super Mario Bros. Sonic games. '06, I can't say is a new Super Mario Bros. Sonic game, mainly because of the fact that, you know, it's big, it's 3D, the story actually is something, it's worth the damn, but the gameplay just isn't, and it's ass, you know, like, I don't know, like, because '06 isn't really a decent game to play. It's a decent game to follow in terms of its story and narrative, but the whole reason why people say it's a new Super Mario Bros. S game, meaning decent, it's like its gameplay is decent. It's not the best, it's not the worst, it's okay. It's the standard, it's at standard level, you know, and that's it. And, you know, other than that, like it's story, who gives a fuck? It's all about the gameplay at the end of the day. But that's why I say like '06 should not be included in the new Super Mario Bros. Or Sonic games, you know what I mean? But anyways, that's Sonic 4 Episode 2, like my experience with it. I enjoyed the game. Sure, I was getting pissed a lot at the game, and it's not too bad. It's honestly not too bad. By the way, did you complete Sonic Colors DS? Yes, I have an entire playthrough of Sonic Colors DS right here. Let me show you. Hold on. And I have a full playthrough of the Switch version of Sonic Colors too. So I did both like versions of Sonic Colors. I know I probably could do the Wii one someday, but really, you don't really need to do the Wii one if you know. There you go. See, Sonic Colors DS full playthrough. There you go. And then I did the Switch one, the Ultimate version, which is pretty much the same as the console version, so don't worry about it, you know, it's a whole fucking thing. And then I did a review on the Rush trilogy and whatnot. But yeah, that's my review. Sonic 4 Episode 2. Originally, I was going to do this was just going to be review day, like where I kind of reset my tablet a bunch of times, and I was going to review this game, and then Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit, and then I think GTA, and then I think a couple of other things, maybe, or maybe just those three, and then call it a day, because, you know, I've been playing a lot of video games, and Celeste was really cool. Check out that video. And also, if you checked out my Underfell cover, you should check that shit out. I know it's been a couple days already, but you should check that out. Anyways, see you guys at Roblox. We're going to be doing a Roblox live stream. If you want to join me, meet me in my Discord server, and I'll see you guys over there. Anyways, peace out.